Hello, it's Amy. Hi guys. Sorry for my not so cute background. I'm not on the other side of my desk today, but I just finished up our weekly coaching call in my private client group for Irresistible You, and I kind of was like on a roll, and I wanted to keep making videos. So there was a topic that I wanted to share here in the group because I know it's relevant to so many of you, and it's all about this thinking that has to stop. And it's the thinking that weight loss alone is going to somehow lead you down the road of perfection, right? Because that is really, really, really dangerous thinking. And it was so funny because over the weekend, true story. I was at home by myself, the baby was asleep, and I was watching Hulu and I was watching My 600-Pound Life while I was eating. Yeah, that was happening. And I was watching this one story of this woman, and she had the surgery like they always do. If you watch the show, you're very familiar with like the way it goes. They have the weight loss surgery. And she says, like, literally, it was like the day after, I want to say, the surgery, she wakes up and she's just like, I just don't understand why I'm still having the cravings. I still crave the food. I still crave sugar. Like sugar was her big issue. And I just kind of was like, oh my God, like, and it just drives me crazy because these doctors who are performing these surgeries and doing these weight loss surgeries are missing the mark. Because, and I know a lot of you here in the group have had weight loss surgery as well. So I'd love to hear your experiences and how it went from this angle that I'm talking about. But it's like the surgeries don't address the mental stuff. They don't address what I'm always telling you guys, the emotional weight. And the fact that someone believes that they're going to wake up tomorrow from weight loss surgery and all of a sudden not crave the food is just outrageous to me. It's outrageous to me that, number one, she would even believe that that's how it works, and that no one has educated her on the fact that that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And I see it all the time, not just that one thing, but that was like a good example. And that's kind of what fired this live that I wanted to talk about with you, because I see it all the time and I have experienced it as well. So it's not just the things that I've seen, but I see it all the time, you know, where everyone believes, and I lived this way for many, many years. Like, this is how I lived my life until I decided enough was enough. And I needed to break this yo-yo dieting insanity and find a better way. And that's where my framework that I teach and I coach, that's where it all came from. And the thing that I constantly see is women get to goal weight, whether it's through diet and exercise or whether it's through weight loss surgery. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you get there. And the problem is, well, now I don't love myself because I have too much loose skin. Or I can't love myself because I'm not used to seeing this thin body. Or, you know, I got to have a boob job, or I got to have a tummy tuck, or I got to have this, I need Botox, I need that. And so the problem is, it's like, it's always got to be something. Because there's this belief that the health industry, the doctors, no one is telling you, especially the diet industry, because they profit off of you being miserable and hating your body. That's it. So long as you keep on the yo-yo diet cycle, you're keeping them in business. So they don't give a shit about this stuff going on up here, because this is what's actually going to have to change, right? You can lose all the weight in the world and you can get to your goal weight and you might feel good. You probably will feel good. Hell yeah, you feel good when you've lost weight. But that's temporary. The compliments stop. the new car smell is going to wear off, which is what I call it, which is you're getting the compliments, you're finding the new sizes that you fit into, you're kind of like getting into this new world that maybe you've never even experienced before, right? And then you're left with you. You're left with you, whether you're thin you or whether you're fat you. And if you didn't like fat you, and all you did was focus on the dieting and the exercise or the weight loss surgery, and you didn't work on this, you're still not going to love yourself. And that's why you're still going to find, oh my God, look at this stretch mark. Oh my God, I have wrinkles. Oh my God, look at my fat roll on my stomach. Look at my baby pouch. All these things that we nitpick the shit out of our bodies about. And continuing to stay miserable when you have done the work to actually get the physical weight off, and you were using that weight as your excuse as to why nothing was working for you, and now that that weight is gone, you have to find another excuse. And that's where it comes in with the stretch marks and the wrinkles and the fat roll and the saggy skin, right? And I've been there. I have been there. I have been that person standing in the mirror, ripping myself apart, no matter what size I was. And I don't do that shit anymore. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. I've gotten to a place where it is so much better to appreciate the body that I have and working on the body that I have and the parts that I can actually control, versus I can't control the freaking stretch marks that I have. I can't control it. They're there, I got them, and they're not going anywhere. But for so long, I like honed in on that, right? So it's just like, there's no such thing as the perfect body. There's no such thing as perfect, period. And that is the whole thing about what I teach, is like trying to get to this place of perfection is actually what's keeping you stuck, because it doesn't exist. And the idea of trying to be perfect and trying to do it all or nothing is exhausting. And that's why you're always going to be trying the next big thing in dieting, the next big fad diet, the keto diet, the Special K diet, this detox and that detox. It's like, ooh, maybe that's going to be the thing that fixes me. Ooh, that's the solution, right? Girl, I've been there so many times, right? I mean, I could sit here for hours and tell you those stories, including being drunk on a cruise ship where I had a spa appointment booked first thing in the morning, and I was still awake and still drunk from the night before. And it was like some they put something on your body, like some gel or some shit that like is supposed to like melt the fat. And you had to be like naked, and it was so embarrassing. And I was so happy at the time that I was a little tipsy because it was so embarrassing. And because of that, I totally bought the stuff. I totally bought the I don't even know, it was like $500 or something in supplements and wraps and like this stuff. Like, oh yeah, you could take this home and keep it going. I didn't do it at home. It didn't work. But like, that's the level of desperation, right? That's the level that we're willing to like put ourselves at in order to achieve this fake body perfection that we think is waiting for us like a freaking pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. At the end of the weight loss rainbow is this perfect body. Well, guess what? That body, whether you lose the weight or not, it's still going to have the stretch marks. It's still going to have the loose skin. And guess what? We're all getting old. So we're all going to get wrinkles. We're all going to get gray hair. We're all going to get like that crepe paper skin at some point, right? Yeah, sure, there's things you can do to be proactive, but it's going to happen. So you have to get to a place where you throw away the idea that you're ever going to be perfect. And there is no person in this world that's perfect. And you throw away that idea that it doesn't exist. And that by chasing it, you're actually driving yourself crazy, right? And that is actually keeping you stuck on the starting over on Monday mentality, right? So let me binge all the food I can between now and Monday because, oh my God, I'm never going to have it again after Monday. And you know damn well you have it again by Wednesday, right? Like that's just the way it works, because when you're trying to do it in terms of weight loss, you're trying to do it perfectly, that's going to set you up to fail too. And I talked about this today with the girls in my group about, like, if you're trying to go from 0 to 100 overnight, that's why you keep thinking that you're failing. You're not failing. You're failing because you're setting your expectations to an unreasonable level. You know, if you're going from being inactive, hating yourself, miserable in your own skin, sitting on the couch every night, binge watching 4 freaking hours of Hulu, and eating everything in sight and ordering Uber Eats 5 days a week, you don't go from that to the lady who's like, hey, I'm drinking my green smoothie, eating almonds, and, you know, working out 6 days a week. And the problem is that we try to do that because we think we should do that. We think that in order to lose weight, in order to become this healthy person, in order to become who we want to be, that's how we should do it. And that is so far from the truth, right? Because doing it that way is not sustainable. Doing it that way is going to set you up to fail because you can't keep that momentum, right? And going back to 600-pound life, like if you think weight loss surgery, and let's not even go that dramatic. We're not even going to go like 600-pound life dramatic. Let's just go like I need to lose 50 pounds dramatic, right? If you think if I could just get off the 50 pounds, I'm never going to crave the sugar. I'm never going to want to eat McDonald's again. I'm never going to want to eat fast food. No, it doesn't work that way. That doesn't just go away, right? And, you know, my big thing and the reason for me, so like I went years and years and years, up and down, up and down, up and down, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. It is insanity making, right? It is absolutely insanity making. When I finally decided I can't take this shit anymore, there has to be a better way. And then I came up with my framework based on everything I had gone through. And that's how I now live my life. And I look at this as a journey without an end game. That's when everything changed. And I'm a big believer in, you know, like actually making this a lifestyle. Because for me to say I'm never going to have fast food again, I'm never going to have icing again, I'm never going to have cake again, who am I kidding? Of course I am. But I don't need to be hitting up the drive-thru 3 times a day like I used to. I don't need to be hitting up Krispy Kreme and getting a dozen stuffed donuts just for me. So it's like you modify the things that you're doing. You modify your expectations. Because going from 0 to 100 is going to hurt. And if you think that like you're going to get to goal weight and then you could just go back to like eating whatever you want, you know, binge eating and all these things just magically change. No, they don't change because you lost the weight. These things change over time because you do the work up here to actually change them. You see what I'm saying? Like, until you lose what I call emotional weight, you're always going to be like on one about something in your body. And there's always going to be something about our bodies that we don't love. And I want to give you permission to know you don't need to love and have this love affair with everything about yourself. Like, about it. Nothing wrong with that. So there's a big difference from like hating your body versus appreciating your body. So if you don't understand that, let me know and I'd be happy to explain it. But you know, yeah, you want to love yourself, but you don't have to love every freaking inch of your body, because not all of us are going to. We all have flaws, right? And so it's about getting to a place where you're okay with those flaws, and those flaws are not dictating how you live your life and how you feel about yourself on any given day, including the scale. And to not give the scale and those flaws so much power over you, right? Because it's a vicious cycle, and it never stops until you decide, I need this to stop, and I'm going to do the work to make it stop. So I want us to stop thinking that weight loss alone, or that weight loss period, is going to lead to perfection, because it's not, right? Weight loss is a great thing. It's a life-saving thing. It improves your health, your quality of life. It can be like life-changing in so many cases. But if you're doing it from a place of hate and from a place of losing into perfection, that's why it's not working for you. And that's why you get to goal, you lose 200 pounds, or you have weight loss surgery, and you're like perplexed as to why you don't like what you see in the mirror, right? You don't like what you see because you haven't done the work up here. And until you shut that inner fat girl talk down, I don't care what surgeries you get. I don't care what tummy tucks you get. You'll still, like, look at these people. And I don't think anyone in this group is like this, but I'm just using this as an example. Look at those people on like those extreme plastic surgery shows. The ones that look like a hot ass mess because they've had procedure after procedure. They don't even look real anymore. They look bizarre. And there's something else going on up here, right? Like, hey, I am all about some surgery. Like, girl, get your tummy tuck, get your boobs done, get you some Botox, get you, do it, right? Like, I am not opposed to any of that, right? But you have to do it, like, whether it's that kind of stuff or whether it's the weight loss done, diet and exercise or surgery or whatever that procedure is, you have to do it from a healthy place mentally, right? Because there's a big difference in hating what you see and doing all these things to try to fix what's going on, that it's going to fix you, that's going to fix what's going on in here, versus, you know what? I'd really like to have Botox. I just think that would make me look a little bit better, you know, and I think I would love to have that done. You know, so you just have to really work on that. And I want us to stop believing that weight loss alone and weight loss period leads to this level of perfection, because it doesn't. You know, and that's why I see the comments even in here about like, I've lost all the weight. And I mean, that's amazing. Like, you should be so proud of yourself for doing that. But instead, we don't relish in our successes. We focus on, I still got this much to lose. I still got loose skin. Look at me. I still don't look how I want to look. And I did that for years. That's why I would get down on my weight. I would lose so much weight and I still wasn't happy. Or people would compliment me and my response was, thank you, but I still have 30 pounds to go. Instead of just thanking them, right? Because we feel like if we don't say that out loud, we think there's no way they really think I look good at this weight. So let me make sure they understand this. I'm not settling for this goal weight. I'm not settling for how I look right now. So I have to make sure that I tell them, oh, thanks, I'm still working on it. I've still got some to lose. Because if we think in our minds, if we just say thank you, they're going to think, oh my God, she thinks it's okay to look like that. Yeah, maybe it is. So what? And so that's like a whole other topic of like our perceived, the story that we keep like playing in our mind about what other people think of us. Who gives a shit? Right? Because we're the one making that, like we're making that conversation happen in our mind. Right? And so again, that stops when you do the work and you break these thoughts and you you shut that inner fat girl talk down, because you could be 120 pounds and you still have inner fat girl in you. Doesn't matter what you weigh. It does not matter what you weigh on the scale. Until you lose that emotional weight, she's going to follow you everywhere you go. And that's why you can see someone who's 300 pounds and she is the most fabulous woman in the world and she knows it. It's not about the weight, right? So let's just stop doing that. Let's stop assuming that certain things are just going to go away automatically. Things go away. We stop hitting up the drive-thru 3 times a day because we decide we have to stop doing that. We stop talking shit in the mirror to ourselves, not just because we lost the weight, because as we've just talked about, that's not going to stop. That stops because you decide it has to stop. And you find a better way to talk to yourself, right? So I think that's all I got to say about that. Let me know what questions you have. Let me know, you know, if you struggle with some of these things or like you could see yourself in what we're talking about. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys.